What does a remote island, a centuries old company, and one of the greatest war strategists in world history have to do with my stack? Stay tuned and find out. Well, what do you say, YouTube? I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to episode number 62 of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. As always, I appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day to check out the new video. And if you'd like to help support this channel, then why not click on that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I promise it's free. So, a disclaimer. I promise that 2022 is going to be dedicated to stacking only 10-ounce bars and some 5-ounce bars. Yeah. And I have done that. I've stuck to that plan. I have been stacking those. But I also said I wasn't going to collect any rounds, and I have failed miserably there. Sometimes a series comes along that makes me want to add more rounds to the stack, and, well, which is it this time? I'm going to blame the East India Company this time, because their line of St. Helena coins, I have to say, these issues are really nicely detailed, and they sucked me right in. Got me right in there. Be sure to stay tuned after the slideshow, as I'll be giving some close-ups of some St. Helena coins that I currently own. Let's roll. So where exactly is St. Helena? Well, if you take a look at the map here, we can see that this little British territory lies directly between Africa and South America. And today, St. Helena has a pretty bustling tourism business, but it has a much more meaningful history. This is actually the island where the French Emperor Napoleon spent his last few days on Earth. Napoleon arrived on the 15th of October, 1815, after about 10 weeks at sea on board the HMS Northumberland. And as you can see here, that house that he occupied, which is called the Longwood House, is still standing today. Napoleon eventually passed away in exile on the island at age 52 on the 5th of May, 1821. The cause of death was allegedly stomach cancer, but many suspected that he'd been poisoned. And as you can see here, his room at Longwood has been preserved just about as he left it. This is the actual bed where he spent his last living moments. But hold on. How the hell did one of the greatest war strategists in history end up dying on this little island in the middle of nowhere? Well, we got to go back to 1812, where Napoleon's path to ruin really began. He suspected that Russia was plotting an alliance with England, so he launched an invasion against the Russians. That eventually ended up with his troops retreating from Moscow, and much of Europe uniting against him in the process. So that didn't work well for him. About 1814, Napoleon's forces gave up, and Napoleon offered to step down in favor of his son. Well, that offer was clearly rejected, and he abdicated and was sent to the Mediterranean island of Elba. In March of 1815, he escaped Elba and actually returned to Paris, where he regained supporters and reclaimed his emperor title in a period known as the 100 Days. And very shortly thereafter, in June of 1815, Napoleon's army was involved in the Battle of Waterloo, which was fought in an area now known as Belgium. And that's where he ran up against not one, but two armies. The first was a British-led coalition led by the Duke of Wellington, Arthur Wellesley, and the second was a larger Prussian army led by Field Marshal von Blücher. Napoleon's forces were eventually defeated, and this ultimately signaled the end of France's domination of Europe. He would abdicate for a second time, and this time they sent him to the remote island of St. Helena. And as we noted earlier, this is where he spent his last days. Now, after his death, he was initially buried at Seine Valley on the island, which was his second choice of burial sites. And today, if you go to St. Helena, you can visit that empty tomb. It's surrounded by a fence and an abundance of flowers and pines, but it's still there. It's just empty. And that's because the French were finally given permission to have his body exhumed and returned to France 19 years after his death. Napoleon's remains are now entombed in Les Invalides in Paris. And that's a quick snapshot of the relevance of St. Helena Island, which now brings us to the East India Company. Now, as most of you know, they have an insanely long history that goes back to the early 1600s. They're based in London, England these days, but we're going to get to them in another video sometime. To even remotely cover that would take forever. Now, how important are they to us? Well, this is the company that mints coinage for St. Helena, and they have put out some incredible stuff. We're going to take a quick look at some of it. And the first is the trade dollar series. You have the United States, you've got Britain, you've got France, you've got China, and lastly, you have Japan. These are some really well done coins. Next, we have the Guinea series, and these can be found in several different formats and fractionals. So these are insanely detailed. They're really nice looking coins. They knock these out of the park, to be honest. And we have an Una and the Lion series. If you guys are familiar with this, pretty much anything with Una and the Lion is typically limited edition and sells for big bucks. It's really a fascinating story about Una, a lot of which I didn't know until I researched it. We've got an upcoming video on Una and the Lion, so be sure to check that out. But it's a long, long history that we're going to combine into a short video. But these are typically some of the nicest issues you'll ever see. Anything to do with the Una and the Lion is going to be up on top of any collector's list. And they also put out a silver bar series, which they're actually considered coins. If you flip them around, they do have a denomination. But again, lots of fantastic detail on these bars. Now, the only reason I don't collect these is because they're not a standard size. I would love to have some, but I have this unfortunate reality of wanting everything to look the same size and uniform. So these are taller and skinnier than usual, but they are gorgeous. These are beautiful bars. And 2022 has brought us a new series. This is the Napoleon Angel series. I don't know if it's going to be a series. This is a one-time issue that could turn into a series. I really don't have the facts on that one yet. I would love to see it, but how many times can you issue a angel over Napoleon's gravesite? That being said, this is a really nice issue. Fantastic job on this. And that brings us to the Queen's Virtue series. This is a 6-coin set, scheduled to be a 6-coin set. The first one came out last year, and that was Victory on the left. Truth came out early in 2022 this year in 1-ounce bullion form. And Charity is actually out already, except it's just in proof form. It's only available in proof form right now. I'm assuming they're going to issue it in a 1-ounce silver bullion. I'm hoping so, because I'd really like to collect this set. These are really nice. These are really nice. And if you guys have tuned in my last videos, you know that I don't really collect proofs. So I'll wait for the regular bullion series to come out. And lastly, the India Wildlife series. These are probably, other than the Queen's Virtues and the Una series, might be some of their best work. You have the 1-ounce cash. This is the tiger, and it comes in both forms. Obviously, you can get it in silver and gold. Next one is the elephant, silver and gold. Another one is the peacock, silver and gold. I'm not crazy about the silver one, but the gold one's pretty hot. That's pretty nice. And of course, you guys know my absolute favorite. It's my channel logo anyway, so I'm going to love this one, the Cobra, also available in gold. Really nice set. Now, these are pricey. They're limited editions. I believe they're limited to 7,500 a piece. I don't know if they've increased that, but I know the Cobra was limited to 7,500, so I'm assuming the others are as well. But again, when you have something limited, that means the price is going to go up, and it did. These gold coins here are off the chart for price, but they are sweet. Well, there you have it. A quick synopsis of St. Helena, Napoleon, and a couple of the bloodiest battles ever known to man. Crazy times back then. But earlier I alluded to showing some of the St. Helena coins that I have here in my possession. I was supposed to have a Napoleon Angel to show you guys today, but post office being the post office, they figured they'd send it to my local post office, which is 15 minutes from here. And it proceeded, according to tracking, to ship out to another post office that was an hour away. You have to love it. You just got to love it. So I don't have that one to show today. What we do have, now if you've seen a couple of my videos, I'm sure you've seen this one before. This is part of the India Wildlife series, and this is the 1-ounce cash Cobra. Very cool, and I'm preferential to it for obvious reasons. Yeah, you can't get away from the Queen. She's ever present. So looks like she's got a gouge on her lower jowl there. I don't know what that's all about, but this was a good $40. Almost, I think I paid $45 for this 1 ounce of silver, which is way more than I would usually pay. But they are limited to 7,500, so there was a low run on them. All right, we also talked a little bit about the Guinea. This is the 1¼ ounce version. And if you look in the background, it's hard to tell, but that is actually a miniaturized version of the East India Company logo. And of course, you know, in the bottom center, you see EIC. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. And on the back, we have nothing to expect except, hey, whoa, she's not old. We're going back in time. For some reason, they used a younger version of Queen Elizabeth. Maybe she got tired of the old version being up there. I don't know. Guess we'll never know that mystery. All right, so we're moving on to the Queen's Virtue series, and this one is really cool. This is Truth. This just came out this year. And without getting too close, you can see a little bit of the detail there. Very good issue, 2022 version. This is a 6-coin set, as we talked about. And you got your gratuitous nudity here. Guess we're going all Libertad on these suckers. Hey, it is what it is. What version of the Queen do we have on this one? Oh, the young Queen, still there. So I don't know if that's a trend going on or what. That's weird to me. I don't know why they would do that. And this is the other Queen's Virtue that I have, which is Victory. She came out last year in 2021. So good stuff. Good stuff here. Yeah, young-ish. And all kinds of marks on her. Probably should have cleaned this one up before putting it in the capsule, but very good issue. And if you're not just satisfied with gold and silver, you can always get platinum too. They do come in platinum. This is a 110. So pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. But that is going to wrap it up, guys. I appreciate you hanging in there and checking everything out. And on a side note, I don't know if anybody's collecting the Great Britain Robin Hood series, but slim pickings again at my LCS. I ended up buying a bunch of these just to walk away with something. This is the 3rd coin in the Robin Hood series. First one was Robin Hood, second was Maid Marian, and here's Little John. So I got a good price on these. I think he only charged me $30. That's not too bad. And it is 2 pounds, so it has a denomination on it. I'll take it. I'll take it back. Got to walk away with something. I picked up some Morgans too, but other than that, it was a real slim visit today to the LCS. Nothing great. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up. I appreciate you hanging in there to the end. We'll see you next week with a very cool video that I'm working on now. I should be wrapping it up. It is going to be a spotlight on Una and the Lion. You got to check this one out. It's going to be cool as hell. But hey, in the meantime, before I see you, you know the drill. You know what to do. That's right. Get stacked. I'll catch you later. For now, I'm out of here. Peace.